As we come to the end of 2021, and with the successful launch of the James Webb Space Telescope completed, this is a good time for us to review just where does NASA stand in our latest space race with China and Russia. Welcome to Reaching for the Moon, hosted by me, Ed Grace. First, I need to provide some background information regarding our relationship in space exploration with both Russia and China. The International Space Station is a modular space station constructed to operate in a low Earth orbit. It's a multinational collaborative project involving 5 space agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, which is Russia, JAXA, which is Japanese, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. These 5 agencies represent a total of 15 countries. The ISS is divided into 2 sections: the Russian orbital segment and the United States orbital segment. Each space station segment has its own living quarters as well as science laboratories. There are 2 mission controls, one located in Russia and one at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Each of the ISS segments communicate with its appropriate mission control, as there's always been at least one Russian cosmonaut and one NASA astronaut on board the ISS since its initial launch in 1998. The ISS has been a very successful project since the beginning. The ownership and use of the space station is established by intergovernmental treaties and agreements. When the ISS was started, China was not invited to participate because the 5 agencies involved felt that China did not have any of its own technology to offer to the project. Subsequently, in 2010, the United States Congress passed a law that prohibits NASA from working with China on any space-related projects. The original agreement between the 5 agencies regarding operation of the ISS expires in 2024. NASA has publicly stated it hopes to extend the operation of the ISS to at least until the end of the 2020s. 2 years ago, NASA published a document called the Artemis Accords, which contain basically principles for cooperation in the civil exploration and the use of the Moon, Mars, comets, and asteroids for peaceful purposes. NASA felt we needed a new international agreement since space operations, since the current Open Space Treaty was signed back in 1969. Initially, 7 countries signed the Artemis Accords. Additionally, the past 2 years, 4 more countries have signed. However, Russia has publicly declined to sign the Artemis Accords. Instead, Russia has made a decision to partner with China on a planned lunar research station rather than join the US-led Artemis Return to the Moon program. In the past 20 years, China has started its own very aggressive space exploration program and has made great progress. 3 years ago, China's robotic spacecraft, Chang'e 4, made a soft landing on the backside of the moon. This was the first spacecraft to achieve a landing on this unexplored moon area and send images back to Earth from an area that's never visible from Earth. In April 2021, China launched the first core module of its low Earth orbiting Tiangong space station, which is named Tianhe. Tiangong's initial launch has been followed by multiple crewed and uncrewed missions to the space station. 2 additional core modules are scheduled to be launched in 2022, along with new supply and crewed missions. In June 2021, China and Russia jointly announced their plan to build a moon base station referred to as the International Lunar Research Station, the ILRS. The International Lunar Research Station will consist of a space station in lunar orbit, a moon base on the surface, and a set of mobile rovers and intelligent hopping robots, according to representatives of Russia's space agency Roscosmos and China National Space Agency, the CNSA. China and Russia have invited international partners to join them in building the International Lunar Research Station. No other country has formally announced as joining the project at this time. However, some are expected soon. The Russian decision to not join the Artemis project was very disappointing to NASA after more than 2 decades of excellent cooperation on the International Space Station project. Even worse was the NASA announcement recently that the planned Artemis 3 landing on the moon has been delayed from 2024 to 2025, especially since one of the main reasons for the delay was caused by a legal protest and dispute of NASA's decision of the selection of SpaceX as the vendor of choice for the human landing system to be used on the Artemis project. Hopefully in the future, NASA can spend its time and resources on completing the Artemis project rather than defending its decisions. The launch of Artemis 1, an uncrewed mission serving the first phase of NASA's program to return humans to the moon, has been delayed now at least until March 22. The mission was originally scheduled to launch in November of 2021, but delays due to pandemic, among other factors, have caused the mission to be modified. In addition to the Artemis delays, Boeing and the ULA continue to miss launch dates for their Starliner project. NASA recently published a formal RFI, request for information, soliciting information from potential sources to provide commercial crew space transportation services to and from the International Space Station. Many space enthusiasts feel that NASA has lost confidence in Boeing and the ULA's ability to certify their Starliner to carry astronauts to the ISS. In the meantime, China continues to make great progress on its space exploration goals. Is NASA falling behind China and Russia in the space race? Unless NASA stops postponing critical missions, it sure likes they are falling behind. In the past 20 years, China has made significant progress in space exploration. And now with Russia as their partner, NASA surely has its work cut out for them. 2022 is going to be a very critical year in space exploration for NASA. We'll continue to keep you updated on the new space race as it moves forward. Well, that ends today's video, which I hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button as well as the subscribe and notification buttons to receive an email every time Reaching for the Moon posts a new video. Thank you for watching, and remember always, failure is not an option. Bye.